Hey everyone at home, Jeff Ford, head coach of Fire Coaching. We're back at you for week 2 of our Train Less Towards Boston Marathon podcast series.
Yep, I'm Lindsay Martin, also an athlete and dietitian for Fire Coaching, and I'm an athlete at CrossFit Hilton Head.
Yeah, she's a lot of things. She wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, food's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the introductions out of the way. Lindsay, tell us about your week. How was it?
It was a good week. I was able to get off the rower, so that was exciting. I was kind of over it.
You were over it.
I was over the rower.
Good training,
even though it's
but
good,
gets boring.
I wanted to run. So Thursday was the first day I was able to do that, which was, we did short intervals. So it was 10 by 100 meter sprints, which by the 5th or 6th one, you can start to feel it.
No, totally.
Especially. So I was able to hold the splits though, so that was good. And then on Saturday, I did a 10K time trial. And I hadn't done one of those in forever, so it was kind of a good little benchmark.
Yeah, kind of see where you're at, huh?
Yeah. How was your week?
My week was good. I mean, you talking about the 100-meter sprints, you don't typically see that in a traditional marathon training program.
No.
But I love those. The short stuff's actually difficult for me. I'd rather do the 800s or the mile repeat type stuff. But went well, got in a couple more runs. I got on the bike for the first time today again since Ironman, so that was good. But Friday I had the privilege of attending a mobility seminar, so kind of leads us to what we'll probably get into talking about today, recovery and movement. I just think a lot of athletes out there don't necessarily respect movement or realize where they should put the majority of their time, what they should put the majority of their time into in their training program. But to wrap up my week, Saturday was a solid 8-mile time trial as well. Gave me a good benchmark just for my single sport run stuff.
That's good.
But as a dietitian, tell me what do you think are like the most important aspects of recovery?
Recovery? That's a good question. I think a big part of that is just eating a whole foods type diet. And timing of your food intake is so important. So, after a training session, eating within the hour is so important because that's when your body actually has the ability to just absorb the nutrients as efficiently as possible, so you can actually repair your muscles and just refuel so that the rest of your day. So even if we had like 2 trainings in one day, then you have the ability to recover and be able to hit that second training session.
Especially as you're like ramping up. If I feel like when you're missing that pre and post energy, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and injury wise, it can just lead if you're not recovering nutritionally, then injuries are just, your risk goes up. So yeah. What do you do typically with your nutrition?
Nutrition wise, I try to do the best I can pre and post. I use 3 Fuel.
That's a good product.
I mean, I've actually got a bag right here, which is awesome.
Let's check it out.
So 3 Fuel, good stuff. This was developed by CrossFit Endurance guys, Brian, and they really designed it for the athlete. So I just love it because it's got some carbohydrate, it's got some healthy fats, omega-3s, and whey protein, obviously, that we need right after.
And whey actually it's such a high quality protein, and a big part of that is because of the leucine content. So if anybody was wondering out there.
Yeah, she knows all those big words. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, leucine. It's a big one.
Yeah.
But it basically, leucine's the amino acid that connects it with basically muscle building. So that's why having a high quality whey, plus it absorbs pretty quickly.
Yeah.
After a workout, it's awesome.
And like for its quality, I mean, it's grass-fed 3 Fuel is, so it's like good quality whey protein, and I mean it's worth the cost, wouldn't you say, to spend money on a quality post workout.
Absolutely. Especially if you're looking for a supplement or something like that, it's perfect. If you're looking for a whole food, then you don't have to necessarily worry about that, which is nice, but these you can just grab and go, which a lot of people kind of have to rely on that these days. So
yeah, and I mean that almost leads us to our next kind of discussion is keeping up with the self myofascial release or the band type stuff before your workout. I think oftentimes a lot of really good athletes neglect taking care of themselves before and after a workout. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I absolutely, and I think a lot of people don't realize the importance of it. Like they've never really been shown what to do. So even though they might know that stretching is good, it's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah,
to do that?
and more so like fixing their tissues is with how hard that we train, and even in our training less, we're really pushing the envelope with the types of stuff we do and the intensity we do it at. That after going through the mobility seminar on Friday and just thinking about my personal experience with mobility habits, is you can tell a significant difference not only in how you feel but also your performance. So like a big thing I took away from this weekend is figuring out ways to link communication on mobility to performance with your athletes, because nobody cares about getting hurt until it happens to them.
True.
And that's where it's tough to get your athletes. If you don't take care of your tissue, you'll get hurt. But if they know they can get faster and they can improve their movement, they might not care about that either. But if they know they can get faster and they can hit personal records that everyone's concerned with, then that might kind of push some of our athletes, I think, to take it more seriously.
How would you say that kind of lines up with the traditional way of long mileage, lots of pounding?
Oh my gosh, good point. And I think that's what's so pro kind of about the FIRE method and CFE, where we've come in and kind of spread the word that recovery is okay. A traditional training program is designed for elite athletes. And
how many miles a week?
Yeah, I mean, some of them ramp all the way up to 80 miles a week, depending on what it is. Like an advanced training program you might get online could be anywhere from 60 to 80 miles. Beginner programs, 30 to 40 miles a week. It really just depends, but I don't know, like, personally, I know it was really difficult for me to recover when I was ramping the mileage around that 45, 50 mile mark.
I bet they recover with lots of Advil.
Probably lots of Advil. Maybe some alcohol too. And
Advil,
like bagels
alcohol,
and
so they
donuts
can feel
or
themselves.
something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that could happen.
Lots of pancakes.
What's the deal? Like, why is it that people fear rest? Like, why do you think that's such an issue?
I think a big part of that is if there's rest, they're not doing something. They're not working towards.
Yeah.
Actively working towards. But actually, if you're resting, you're actively recovering. So. Well,
it's like that mentality is that, people think they're actually getting stronger in the gym, where in actuality, the only way they get stronger is outside of the gym.
So true.
Or off the streets for our, endurance athletes' sake.
Yeah. So what do you typically do as far as the mobility, the foam rolling, the stretching?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty in line with what, Kelly Starrett's mobility guys talked about on Friday. Is I like to do the band beforehand and kind of reset some of the positions of the joints so that I can make sure that I'm squatting better. So bands beforehand for the shoulders, hips if I'm squatting, deadlifting, and then a lot of foam rolling, not PVC rolling. Let's be right. And rumble rolling.
Rumble rolling.
Yeah, that's a good product. Amazon.com, you can find that one. But lacrosse ball, like, these are cheap devices that I try to stay up with regularly, and it's gotten a lot better, especially in the previous training protocols.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, we've got a little space for it, which is nice. I would recommend doing that.
That's huge. Like, you're watching football, it's the playoffs right now. Like, why aren't you just on your floor rolling out and actually, like, improving something while, having some fun watching TV?
That's right.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this upcoming week?
Upcoming week, we've got War of the Wads on Sunday, so we've got a fun little competition that we'll be hopefully dominating. Workouts come out tomorrow, so we're psyched to check that out.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, Lindsay called in like a panic, and she was probably like the seventh person who called, but they clearly said they'd be out on Monday.
Yeah, the guy said next week. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about your recovery habits. How have they been?
They've been a lot better. I think since I started, at CrossFit, I just realized the importance of it and how much better. And we always do like little self-checks. So if we work our shoulders, is one arm longer than the other when you raise them?
Retest. Yeah.
So the testing, it kind of it showed me right then and there that it helps just with overall movement. So
Like
I
when
usually,
pain comes, it's too late, and that was a big thing they talked about on Friday. It's like, yeah, if you're experiencing pain and it's already gotten to that point, then you're either A, most likely moving wrong, or B, your mobility habits were really, really poor.
and mine could have gone either way. I was on the rower for a while, and I had this pain kind of on the outside of my right foot, and I went to a massage therapist, and I didn't realize it, but I had knots all the way up in here, like really, really bad. So literally, I gave myself bruises from the flippin' lacrosse ball because I was just trying to get them out even after I saw this person. So it showed
bruises. There were bruises.
I bruised myself.
Huh. Interesting. I'm
I
sure.
just wanted
I'm
to
sure
run.
it was feeling better though, right?
Yeah. It feels great now, but it also kind of taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
Even though I was still doing it, it probably wasn't to the extent that I needed to be doing it.
Yeah, I mean, mobility is one of those things that can sneak up on you if you're not doing it regularly, and it's literally what takes someone to the next level. I mean, I'm convinced. I know that my times get faster. I know I feel better overall, and it's something that everyone out there needs to think about: is are you recovering enough? Not are you training enough? Is it are you recovering enough? That's a good question for you guys tonight. But yeah, I could go on and on about this. One really good quote from the seminar, and I'll stop talking soon. That I forget who had said it, whether it was Danny or Andrew, but he said, "Success isn't the same as winning," and I kind of correlate that to, sometimes we perform a task or we hit a PR with really bad form or something like that. Would that be considered a success? Yes, you got your PR, which is considered a win, but is that successful?
Can you work out? Can you do your training the next week?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I crushed this, whatever, 1,000 rep workout, 100, 90, 80, whatever, big chipper that you might see. But did that really impact your training? You were the fastest person who did that workout. It's almost like, how are you doing your training? Are you performing it correctly? Do you care about how you run? Do you care about how you move? And I think that's a big point I want to make is more of us should care about how we move, because that's only going to lead to an infinite amount of long-term change and long-term PRs.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I like that quote.
Really good quote. I mean, I told him I'm going to steal that because that's awesome. But yeah, are you looking forward to anything this week?
I'm looking forward to when we find out what those workouts are going to be.
Yeah, that's going to be sick.
Yeah.
And just to dial things back, we're going to be smart. We're so far out from Boston, but we'll probably take 2 days off before the event. Just, make sure we're set.
I'll get in the pool. That'll be fun.
Get in the pool?
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Did you have technique practice today?
I did. I had my
Excellent.
second swim lesson ever today.
Yeah.
With Dan
dope.
Quindell. So,
Cool.
Yep.
Dropping names.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was good. So that's how I'm going to recover too. Kind of stay off my feet a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, good things.
Well, that's pretty much it for this week. I think in a nutshell, just, respect movement. Stay on the mobility. We will continue to talk about that. And keep hard training. We know we will be.
Yep. Have a good week.